Start by referencing something that Donald Trump told ABC News. He said that the American people don't care about his tax returns. And in fact, he's also said that it's none of our business. I just think he's dead wrong. I mean, the reason that presidential candidates going back decades have released their tax returns is because the American people want to know. If they're going to entrust a president with the management of our country's finances, they want to know, how did this person handle his or her own finances, which is, one of the reasons why we've released 40 years of tax returns. And it's especially important given what we are discovering, not from Trump himself, but from the kind of work that many of you are doing and your outlets are doing. What have we learned? We've learned that Donald Trump has been bankrupted in his company 6 times. He's been sued about 4,000 times. He's been accused repeatedly of fraudulent behavior. His so-called Trump University is under investigation right now because of the way it has scammed so many students who thought they'd get a better opportunity in life. And we've recently learned that his Trump Foundation has been fined for illegal activity when it made a political contribution to the Attorney General of Florida at the time she was being asked by her constituents to investigate Trump University because of the effects that these people that she's responsible for had experienced. And of course, as we know, there was a phone conversation between them. They contradict each other. The American people deserve to know what was said because clearly the Attorney General did not proceed with the investigation. So the list is growing. The Washington Post has a long list of many of the behaviors, the experiences, the activities that Trump is engaged in that raise serious questions. The New York Times discovered about $650 million owed to foreign banks and foreign entities. We know about his relationships with the Kremlin, his own and those of people with whom he has worked. And truly, the list goes on and on. The scams, the frauds, the questionable relationships, the business activities that have stiffed workers, refused to pay small businesses. So clearly, his tax returns tell a story that the American people deserve and need to know. And his continuing claim that he can't release his tax returns because he's under audit has been disproved repeatedly. And so the question really is, will he abide by the precedent that everyone else, Republican and Democrat alike, have fulfilled in providing that critical information to the American people? I think the burden is on him, and indeed for the rest of us in the campaign, on our side, the press, the public, to demand what a big majority of the American public says they want, which is for him to release his tax returns. So I'm going to continue to raise this because I think it is a fundamental issue about him in this campaign that we're going to talk about in one way or another for the next 62 days because he clearly has something to hide. We don't know exactly what it is, but we're getting better guesses about what it probably is. And if he's going to pursue this campaign, he owes it to the American people to come clean and release those tax returns. So we'll take some questions.
With that, let's start with Jen right here.
Hi, Jen.
So this is not going to be my question, but kind of backing off of that first. Do you think that you are held to a different standard than he is, that either by the media and by voters and stuff like that, don't actually hear the result? They know that he has done some shady things. but they are concerned about you. And more broadly, Jason Chaffetz today asked a judge to look into the deletion of some of your emails and has said that he's going to do more hearings, including one on FOIA on Thursday. Are you concerned that they're just continuing to dig into you, and you worry that if you win, they will keep doing that?
Jen, that's a very good question. Jen basically said, do I think there is a different standard for Trump than for me? And do I think that a lot of these issues that are raised about Trump are dismissed because somehow the American public has factored into their assessment of him that, you know, that's the kind of guy he is, right? And a lot of this behavior coming from him seems to be expected somehow. And that's fine if you're a reality TV star or you're a real estate developer. I don't think it is fine if you want to be president of the United States. And I can only say, look, this is not new to me. You can go back and look at a lot of what has been said about me by so many people going back 25 years. And so it's something that I've just accepted. When I'm in office, I work well with Republicans, and I believe as president, I will work well with Republicans again. We have a long archive of quite complimentary comments that Republicans who have worked with me have said over the years, and I think we should do more to get those out, Nick, because they come from the center to the far right in terms of people who I worked with as First Lady, I worked with as Senator, I worked with the Secretary of State. I know how to work with Republicans. I believe we can get results when I am president. But I have no doubt that they would prefer not to have another Democratic president in the White House. And so I'm running for this job. I believe I'm the best person for this job, and they're going to keep coming after me. And your example about the congressman calling for more hearings is just a perfect segue, because, you know, the FBI resolved all of this. Their report answered all the questions. The findings included debunking his latest conspiracy theories. I believe I have created so many jobs in the sort of conspiracy theory machine factory, because honestly, they never quit. They keep coming back. And here's another one. It's been debunked. That's how they want to spend their time instead of looking to address the problems of the American people. That's their choice. But when I'm president, we're going to get down to business, and we're going to get results. You know what? I can't speak for what they want to do. I think they should have learned a lesson from this campaign. Why did someone come from the outside and seize their nomination who had never been in public service before? With the kind of record that he has, bankruptcies and fraud allegations and, you know, all kinds of questions about his deals and who finances him, because clearly Republicans were not producing results for people who support them. And I think that's what one of the results of this election will be. You know, you don't keep doing the same thing in politics over and over again when it's not working. It is clearly not working for a lot of the Republicans. Those who are in safe districts are looking over their shoulder right now. So I think that they're going to have to come to the conclusion that maybe they should actually produce results for the American people and not engage in all of this partisan conspiracy theorizing that doesn't put one more good job for anybody on the table, doesn't educate a kid, doesn't improve health care, doesn't do anything other than try to keep people agitated so that they can, you know, take advantage of them politically.
Hi. To follow up on the Chaffetz investigation, though, he's asked for a U.S. attorney to look into whether your aides deleted emails that had already been subpoenaed. Do you have any concerns that emails were deleted after they were already supposed to be preserved, and did you ask for them to be deleted?
No, of course not. I have no concern on either count. None. And neither did the FBI.
Secretary, as you're doing debate prep, are you preparing to go after Donald Trump's personal life? And do you think his personal life is fair game? And on a related note, is there a member of your staff or play the role of Donald Trump in a mock debate?
Look, I am preparing for the debates. I'm doing my homework. Donald Trump is a self-proclaimed great debater who won every one of the Republican debates. So I take nothing for granted. I think this will be a difficult, challenging debate, which is why I'm going to be thinking hard about what I need to present to the American people. I think there is so much in his political and public life that deserves to be examined. I am going to concentrate on what will affect the American people were he ever to get anywhere near the White House, because as I've said repeatedly, he is unqualified to be president and temperamentally unfit to be commander-in-chief. I think this is a huge challenge that his candidacy poses for our country. And the choice couldn't be starker. So we're going to talk about the kinds of things he has said about our allies and our friends, his cozying up to dictators, his banning an entire religion from coming to our country, his desire to deport 16 million people with a deportation force, and literally so much else. That's what I'm going to be focused on.
Yeah,
Roby.
Going back to issues that might continue to kind of plague you, not to use such a, going back to Jen's question earlier about issues that may carry over into a possible administration. If Chelsea Clinton does stay on the foundation's board, which the foundation has said very definitively that she will, or that that's the plan currently, do you believe that could raise legitimate conflict questions? And does that mean that you seem for?
We're, as I said over and over again, doesn't matter how many times you ask me and how you ask me, these issues will be decided after the election. And we will decide the appropriate way forward. When I became Secretary of State, the Clinton Foundation, a world-renowned charity, went above and beyond.
All right, so that is Hillary Clinton there holding what's called a gaggle on her press plane with a number of the reporters. You heard, I think, our own Monica Alba, our embed assigned to the Clinton team. This is the second time Clinton has done something like this in the last couple of days. As she rolls out that new plane, she's traveling around with the press. Her campaign clearly aware of the attacks that Trump has levied against her, that she has not been accessible. So she's answering a number of questions and a couple of interesting topics here. She, as you heard right at the end there, leaving the door open for Chelsea Clinton to maybe have a different role with the Clinton Foundation if Hillary Clinton is elected after questions of conflict of interest. She hit Donald Trump pretty hard right off the top on his not releasing his tax return, saying that she will continue this line of attack and continue to raise this question. Apparently something that the Clinton campaign sees as a politically advantageous strategy moving forward to go after their Republican rival. A couple of other highlights. She talked about debate prep as well, getting ready for that debate, saying that she we're not answering a question about who the surrogate playing Donald Trump would be, not talking about some of the intricacies there, but she did try to play that old expectations game, calling it potentially a difficult debate for her. And then she was asked, too, about the email issue with the FBI and whether aides may have acted inappropriately in deleting some of these emails. She very briefly said no and moved on to the next question. For more on this and some analysis, I want to bring in NBC's Casey Hunt, who is on the phone from Tampa, where Hillary Clinton is set to appear shortly here. Casey, you were listening in on that. Tell me what stood out to you. Give us some context behind some of these answers.